Good morning, everybody. Sorry, that was just a tiny bit late, but thank you for joining this morning. As always, please practice according to your condition. So, we're going to begin. So let's begin by sitting up tall and straight. Close the eyes. Bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything you need is already within. Begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your mind in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire strong desire for the knowledge that brings us relief from pain and suffering, and may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So, just a minute. I have to check to see if I'm actually online. If you see me, please let me know. I'm assuming that this is working. Yes, it is. Okay, so thank you. So we're going to start off. I don't have my harmonium today, but we'll do the Om Namah Shivaya mantra. Calm response means I bow to the inner light. So now before we begin, do the mantra for purification 3 times. If you happen to know it, chant it along with me. If not, then just think of the idea that the space, the grounds, and the psychic channels within are being purified. Om Pavitraha Pavitrava Salva Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabhaya Bihantraha Sachi. Om Pavitraha Pavitrava Salva Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabhaya Bihantraha Sachi. Om Pavitraha Pavitrava Salva Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabhaya Bhyantraha Sachi. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice. Let's come to standing now. So let's start off with breathing for inner healing, mentally, physically, and emotional healing. So bring your feet about 10 inches apart, bring your arms in front of the body, the wrists the height of the shoulder. Inhale from the heart to the crown. Imagine the healing energy moving right up between those 2 points. Holding the attention and the breath at the crown. Exhale out through the arms, imagine all the impurities being expelled with the breath. From the heart to the crown, breathe in. Watch the healing energy rise. Holding at the crown and hold the breath. Exhale out through the arms again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. From the heart to the crown, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding all the attention and the breath at the crown. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. Take all the impurities out with the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now bring your arms down. We'll continue some exercises to prepare the body for practice. Watch the body moving by itself. Roll the head in circles. Try to make the movements graceful. As though you're the witness watching it, you want to make the experience as pleasing as possible. And circle the head in the other direction. Try to touch the ears to the shoulders as the head moves around without lifting the shoulders. Now shoulder rolls backwards. Exercise the wings of the heart. And then bring the arms into the movement. And then forward roll with the shoulders. Tap into the sensations all along the spine. And now amplify the sensations by bringing the arms into the movement. Good. Now bring the arms up over the head. Take hold of the opposite elbows. Squeeze the arms by the ears. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Pulse to the left. Coming back up. And go to the right. Try not to create folds in the right side of the waist. Coming back, upright, go to the left again. Push your hips out towards the right and the rib cage as well. And then coming up, go to the left. And then coming back up. Next one's called Breath of Joy. 3 movements, the first 3 movements on the inhale, last one on exhale. Do it with enthusiasm to make it live up to the name. Exhale, toss the body down. Continue with me. Last one, just stay hanging down when you drop the body down and just allow the body to stop shaking. And then roll your way up. Next one is called lion's breath. So you can make a fierce face like a lion's roar, like a lion roaring. The eyes go big and the tongue hangs out of the mouth. So do it 8 times. Come into squat as we do this. And coming back up. Shake out the wrists as fast as you can. Loosen them up. Loosen the fingers. And then flap them up and down like the wings of the hummingbird. Going so fast, they're like a blur, you can barely see them moving. And release. And now use the shoulders, just move the body, twisting from side to side as fast as you can. And really shake it up. Move faster and faster. Head flying. And then start to slow it down. Eventually coming back to stillness. Bring the feet together. Bring your arms up over the head. Press the palms up towards the sky. Inhale, lift up off the heels. Exhale, back down. Rock back on the heels, lift the toes. And press up into the base of the toes. Come up again. Rock back. Inhale, come up. Lengthen as you come up. Inhale. Hold the navel. Come down, drop the tailbone. One more time. Up. One more time down. And release the toes, release the arms. Let's come to the top of the mat now. Hands to the heart. Now imagine you're moving with yogis everywhere around the world to deliver benefits to all beings. Do this as your divine duty to all. So let's move together like a school of fish. Reach the arms up over the head. Fold down, bring the hands down on the ground, bend your knees if you need to, bring your hands flat. Right foot back into lunge, lower the knees, sink down to the seat, lift the chest. Come into high plank, lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Now as you come forward, brush the nose to the ground, slide forward, lift the head, raise the chest. Come all the way back 2 more times. Glide forward, pull the arms, and propel your body forward with power and with grace and smoothness. Come all the way back. One last time. Creep forward like a snake moving through the grass. Bring the head all the way back. Downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. Melt the heart towards the ground. And then the right foot steps forward to the hands. Again, drop the seat down right behind the heel. Feet together, forward fold. Chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing. Bring the hands back to the heart. Reach up again. Go down. Fold the body in half. Left foot back. Move smoothly. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that allows the breath to remain steady and even. And then the body will move more fluidly and with more ease. Back in your seat behind the heels. Once again, come forward. Pull the shoulders back. Open up the chest all the way back one last time. Come forward, pull the arms, and lift the chest, bring the head back. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward to the hands. Lower the hips as low as you can. Bring the feet together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, arch back. Hands back to the heart. Reach up and back again. Go down. Watch the body moving. Right foot back. The regular Surya Namaskar now. Into plank. Knees, chest, forehead down. Ashtanga Namaskara. Right through to Cobra. Then Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the feet up and back. Dip the heart towards the ground. Right foot steps. Feet together. All the movements done with deliberateness, precision, and reverence. Hands back to the heart. Reach up again, pass through all the forms with equal attention and love for all forms. Left foot back into a lunge, into the plank, and down we go. Scoop right forward into the cobra. All the way back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And the left foot steps forward to the hands. Feet together. Pull the body to the legs, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Hands back to the heart. Adding on, arch back, press the hips forward. So you stay steady, like the whole front of the body. And then come forward and down. Bend the knees, chest on your thighs, join hands behind the back. Inhale, pull the head forward, pull the chest towards the knees, and exhale, go deep, head down, the seat up, Uttanasana. And then release the hands down just a little bit in front of the feet, right leg back. Raise your arms above the head, Kapiyasana, reach up and back. And bring the hands back down, into plank, down, and right through. Take it back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward, move like you're doing a dance. Seamless transitions. And then bring the feet back together, chest on the thighs, bend the knees again, hands behind the back. Extend through the top of the head, the seat back. Exhale, dive down, the head towards the forehead towards the shins, the feet up. Bring the arms up over the head, arch back, hands back to the heart. Let's do one more like this. Reach the arms up and back. Come down. Fold the body in half. Chest on the thighs, hands behind the back. Extend, lengthen the spine. Keep lengthening as you dive down. Head close to the ground. Release the hands. Left foot back. Knee down. Seat forward. Raise your arms over the head. Arch the back. And then come back down. Into the plank. Move according to your condition. Lower down. Slide right through into the cobra. And back. Left foot again. Forward. Quiet movements. Like you don't want to disrupt the witness. No jarring motions. No jerky motions. No aggressive movements. Chest on the thighs. Hands behind the back. Extend to the crown. And then pull the arms over the head. Seat lifts. The head comes down. And release the hands, bring them up over the head. Hands back to the heart. Another variation, arch back. Watch the body moving with grace and smoothness. Now let the head, bring your weight forward more, shoulders over the fingertips, really press into the hands, lift up a little bit, and then just allow the toes to slide back. Imagine your feet on roller skates. Or a walk back. Now, swing up and forward into upward facing dog. Knees and hips off the ground. Push the chest forward, strides from the body. Make like you're howling at the moon like a dog. Back into downward facing dog. Here, now just melt the chest a little bit. Feel like a dog stretching its back. Just try to embody all the virtues and all the movements, all the characteristics of what you're representing. Now from here, lift up the heels, bend the knees, and from here you don't have to lift your feet too much. Just press into your hands and jump your feet forward. Chest on your thighs, head down, forehead towards the shins. Come all the way up to standing. Stretch the whole front of the body as you reach back, Hasta Uttanasana. Return home. Reach up again. Pull the arms back over the head. Come down gracefully. Again, bring the head forward, press into the hands, and back, walking or floating back. Into upward facing dog. Again, stay here, pull the shoulders back. Just think of the form you're trying to represent and try to make your body look just like that form by tapping into its consciousness. Back into downward facing dog. Bounce the chest a little. Try to get your arms to flatten out a little bit. Your belly to the thighs, the chest towards the ground. If you can rest top of the head, or maybe if you're more flexible, the back of the head will come onto the ground. Push the floor away. Now lift up the heels. From here, we're going to try something. Bend your knees, bring your chest on your thighs, push into your hands. See if you can come up 3 times. So you can walk your feet a little bit closer if you need to, so you get more height, but just try to push into your hands, push into your hands. Gaze right into the core of the earth. And then land your feet to the hands lightly the 4th time. Pull the body in towards the legs. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Take pause here for a moment. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out all fatigue. Let go of all expectations and all attachments to the results. Let's continue. Reach the arms up and back. Remember, moving according to your condition. Place your hands down. From here, come back into chaturanga, hopping or walking. Into upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Now bring the left foot forward to the hands. Bring the knee down. Bring the seat right close to the front heel, right behind it. Take your hands to the seat and pull down on the seat. Push the rib basket up away from the seat. Feel as though you're folding the back in half of the spine. All good there. Arms up over the head. Wiggle the shoulders back and forth. Try to get the arms behind the ears. Keep the arms straight, close to the head. Make like a crescent moon shape. Visualize your index fingers going over the back toe. Reach back. If you're more flexible, if you have good balance, you can see if you can take your right foot up. Maybe you'll find the head. Sometimes it helps to take your hands to the ground right beside the hips. Come on to the fingertips. Bring the body up. See if your foot will come to the head. All these are options, of course. Break the pose. From here, move your left foot out a little bit to the left. Bend the toes under on the back foot and just creep back and forth. Trying to get lower and lower with each pass. And then push back through the right heel, lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. Roll to the right, see if you can get the right shoulder down. Roll to the left, maybe the forearm down, and maybe the left forearm will come down as well. Otherwise, stay on your hands, keep pulling your chest forward. If you're more flexible, come right down onto the chest. Feel as though there's a weight sitting right on top of your seat. Go ahead into other variations if you know them. You can take your left arm around and underneath the knee, over your back, and join your hands over the back if you know this variation. Go ahead. And release. So let's come back onto the hands, bend the toes under, and step back into plank. Lower down into chaturanga, through into upward facing dog, back into downward facing dog. And then bring the right foot forward, landing the seat to get close to the front heel, hands to the seat, pull down on the seat. Use your hands to shape the back body. Take all the folds out of the skin from underneath the hands. Push the rib back, the heart up. And then maybe take your arms over the head, Kapiyasana. Or radiate your light like the crescent moon. Arms straight, remember, try not to bend your elbows to get the shape of a crescent moon. There's no kinks or discontinuities along the curve. And if you want, bring your two fingertips down, bring your head back, and see if the toes will come to the foot, the head. If they do, you can rest your foot in your head, bring your arms back up. Release. From here into your, I'll do it this way, lizard. Walk the right foot out a little bit more to the right, scooch back and forth. Press back through the left foot one last time, left heel, lower the knee, flatten out the toes. If your shoulder is at the same height as the knee or lower, you can roll to the left and the left form will probably come down. And then roll to the right so the right form comes down. Make sure the knee doesn't pop away from the shoulder. Keep it close to the knee and the shoulder together. If you can, of course, come down flat on your chest. Anchor down through the hips. And if you want to take a bind, slip your arm out to the right, underneath the knee, over your back on the inside of the body, and hold the left wrist. Move according to your condition. These are just different options. Cultivate your creativity by imagining new and exciting and graceful forms. And now getting ready to come back up. Come back onto the hands, into plank. Knees, chest, forehead down, or chaturanga if you like, through to upward facing dog or cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's work our core and our arms a little bit. Drop the forearms down, lift the heels, walk your feet right close to the elbows as much as you can. Now push in the forearms, try to get your shoulders as high off the ground as possible. Tuck your chin in, try to bring the back of the head in front of your arms. And lift right up onto your tippy toes. Come back down. Inhale, lift up. Feel the thighs coming towards the navel, maybe right against the navel, and down. And up again. Push into your arms, tuck your chin in. Try to get your shoulders as high away from the ground as possible. And then back down. Come back into downward facing dog. Left leg up, reach up and back. And take the foot between your hands. Virabhadrasana 1. Back foot flattens, raise your arms up over the head. Take the head behind the arms and express devotion just like a warrior does. Expresses devotion towards the people they protect. From here, move into balance pose. Lean forward, bring your hands behind the back. You can come up into warrior 3, straight as an arrow, like you're lying on a table. If you want to go further, cant the body down, belly towards the thighs, arms a little bit higher, and the foot a little bit higher, and then pick your chest up a little bit. Now from here, release the hands. Left hand comes down onto the ground in front of the foot. Turn to the right, Ardha Chandrasana. Try to get your shoulders and hips to stack one on top of the other. Option here to take a bind. Bend the knee and take the foot, push it into the hand away from the seat. Move the right shoulder back. Good. Now from here, look down, roll the right hip down, press into the left foot, come up. See if you can come into dancer from here. Okay, so you can do different forms if you like, if you know the full expression. If you have open shoulders, you can go into that form here. Take the foot, pull the elbow up. Take the foot in both hands if you like. Other expressions of the pose, go ahead. And release. Back into warrior two. Strong and steady, strong lines. Moving into Parivrtta Konasana. Turn towards the front, right arm up, elbow to the outside of the thigh. From here, sink down to the seats a little bit. You can take your hands in prayer. Left hand pushes into the right. And so you can turn your left shoulder all the way back. Keep pushing through that right heel to stay steady. If you need to modify, you can bring the right knee down. If you want to go further, and you can do this when you're down too, left arm goes over the back, join the hands underneath the belly, and then you can pick up the left foot, the right knee again. Pull the left arm back, reach the head forward, reach the left heel back, right heel back. From here, back into warrior two. Setting up for a humble warrior, hands behind the back, pull the hands down, lift the chest, bring the head back. Now we're going to dive down, go to the right a little bit so that your shoulders get caught on the knee. Try to slip to the inside, sink the hip, bring the arms over the head. Modify if you need to, but bring the right knee down onto the ground. So it would look like this. Okay. If, however, you want to go further, you can take your left shoulder in behind the knee. Right hand comes around to wrap the left foot. Lift the hip, flatten out the right foot. Tuck your chin in, try to get your back of the head to rest against the heel, behind the heel, or take your head to the other side of the foot. Sink your seat. If your head's on the ground, you might be able to join your hands. A little bit of a deeper version of humble warrior. And release. If your head's tucked behind the heel, take it back, and then see if you can move your left shoulder in behind. Do this whether you're in the from this pose or from another version. And from here, you can see if you can lift your left leg up, and then lean a little bit to the left so we can allow the left leg to sit on the arm. Visvamikrasana from here. You can keep your toe on the ground if you like. Okay, or just pull the heel in towards your chest. Eventually, if you push into the back of the knee, you may be able to get your legs straight. And then from here, place your right hand down. If you can, keep the left leg strong. Swing it right back into plank, or just put the foot down and step it back. Lower down, knees, chest, forehead down, or chaturanga. Through into cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Move through the forms again. Smoothly and fluidly. Right leg all the way up. Stretch, imagine trying to touch the sun. Good, and then bring the foot forward between your hands. Virabhadrasana 1. Smooth entries. Remember the witness is watching. Imagine your witness is God and offered up to him, to God. Getting ready to come into balance pose. Join your hands behind the back or take them out to the side if you like. Step more into the right foot and come up. Flat like a table. Imagine you're lying on a table. Perhaps the pose will feel easier. And feel free to come into toppling tree. You have to bring weight more into the front of the foot. Pull the left toes up, pick up the chest a little bit. Curve the body. Arms over the head. Release the hands. Right fingertips come down onto the ground. About a foot in front of the right foot. Turn to the left. Ardha Chandrasana. Bend the knee. Take hold of the foot if you like. You can stay in Ardha Chandrasana or any modification thereof, or look down and see if you can come up into dancer. So press into your right foot, take a half breath in and come up. So you can even just do this pose with your thighs together, or extend it a little bit. Push the foot away from the body, come into your dancer variations. Again, use your creativity to find new forms. Or if you know this version, be careful with your shoulders. Take the foot in your hand, holding from above, or both hands the foot eventually. And release. Back into Warrior 2. Sink through the seat. Take on the consciousness of a mighty warrior. Moving into Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. Spin towards the front. Press into the base of the toes of the left foot. Left arm comes up and over to the outside. Do it this way so you can get a better angle, so notice the armpit is right against the thigh. If your hands are by the shoulders, push right hand into the left, get your chest up, lower the left knee if you need to, and roll the right shoulder all the way back. If you want to take a bind, right arm goes over the back, left arm underneath, and then lock the fingers together or hold the right wrist with your left hand. Try to turn your chest and the face right up like you're lying on the back. Gracefully come out. Warrior 2. Join the hands behind the back. Pull the hands down, lift the chest, bring the head back. Stay solid through the legs. Imagine trying to stretch the mat between your feet. Come down, forehead towards or on the ground. Lower the left knee again if you need to. Or go deeper. You have to move the right shoulder in behind the knee. Take hold of the foot with your left hand. Lift the hip so you can tuck your chin in and bring the back of the head to rest against the heel, or maybe if you're more flexible, bring the head to the other side of the foot. Rest the side of the head on the ground, sink through the seat, and perhaps your arms will eventually be able to come back together again. And release. If your head's underneath, take your head out from underneath, keep your right shoulder there. Otherwise, from here, you move your right shoulder in behind. You can just stay here if you like, or lean more weight into your right hand so you can sit back a little bit, coming to a slow side lunge. And your right toes can stay on the ground, or if you really squeeze the back of the arm against the leg, you might be able to extend your foot. More advanced, you can take the foot in your hands. Visvamitrasana. Then bring your left hand back down, turn forward, right leg over the right arm. Perhaps keep the leg engaged so you can go back into plank, or just step it back behind. Downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften. Now bring your left hand more in front of the nose, spin to the right. Vasisthasana. Lift the chest, lift the hips, or push the chest forward, lift the hips. You can stay here, or you can go further. Slide your right toes back, push into the toes, and turn your hips and shoulders to face up. Keep the left arm extended, make sure you don't drop into your shoulder. If your left foot is flat down, and your hips are high, you might be able to take your right knee up. Maybe even the foot. If you have flexibility, take hold of your foot. More advanced, take your foot or your knee out to the side, a little bit to the right. Come back down. Same way as you entered, gracefully back into downward facing dog. Good. If you need a modification, you just bring your right knee down when you go to the left. So you could just come down onto your shin like this. Right. Otherwise, take your forms, same variation. Keep your hips up. Push and heel your palm. You have to move your, maybe helps to move your right foot in a little bit, so your left base of the toe, big toe, and come down. Make sure again you don't drop into your shoulder. Keep the left arm, right arm fully extended. Take the knee, or take the foot, extending the leg. Back down. Press into the toes, and then keep the hips up, back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, soften through the heart. Now raise the left leg up again, and then come into downward facing scorpion. Pull heel in towards the seat. Look underneath the left shoulder. Allow the foot to fall towards the right. Keep your hips high. Push more into the right, into the heels of your palms, the hands. And then take it back, re-extend the leg, close the hip, and then bring the knee forward, just on the inside of the left wrist. And then coming into upright pigeon. Sink down to the seat, place your hands on the seat, pull the elbows towards one another behind the back as you're trying to fold the back in half of the spine. Pull the shoulders back. Some of you more advanced practitioners can go into Raja Kapotasana if you like. You can bring your foot up and then bring the elbow back. Make sure it's higher than the shoulder before you bring the elbow up. And you can do this variation here or other variations. Otherwise, just keep here. Move according to your condition. Push the rib basket up, allow the head to fall back. And then lift back up. Keep anchored down to the left side of the seat. Walk forward. Stop where it says, according to your condition, you can stay on your hands, come down halfway in the forearms, stack your forehead on the fists, or come flat down. Either way, try to get length, pull the left side of the seat back, try to keep both sides of the body as equally as long. So the left side, if you feel it crunching up, you feel forms, wrinkles forming in the left waist, pull the left hip back. Good. One more stretch, really press down through the seat, anchor down. Stretch it out, and then return. Bring your hands back in front of the leg, into chaturanga or knees, chest, forehead down, into cobra or upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Now raise the right leg up, downward facing scorpion, pull heel in towards the seat, pull the left shoulder down and in and underneath the right. The
So you're trying to get underneath the right arm. Look underneath the right arm. Allow the foot to fall towards the left. Open up your front of the body. And then we turn. Bring the right leg up, close the hip. Knee to just the inside of the right wrist. And then stay here. Upright pigeon. Shape the back of the body, push the rib basket up, raise it up, open it up. If you want to try your different variations, go ahead, take your foot, bring your elbow close to the body, hold the base, press the thumb into the base of the toes, other fingers wrap around the outside of the foot, and then pull the elbow up higher than the shoulder and keep just circling it up. Make sure you find the natural rhythm or range of motion of your arm. Don't twist it around. Don't force it into ways that it doesn't feel good to go there. Now release if you have your king pigeon. And then move forward into your palm pigeon. Move the right side of the hip back. And just stay where is suitable for you. Higher up, halfway down, or flat out. Pull the right side of the hip back. Make sure both sides of the body are equally long. Now surrender. Express humility in this pose with the head down. Slide your hands back underneath the shoulders. Press into plank, lower down. Through into cobra or upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Bring your feet to the hands, hopping or walking. Inhale, lift, bring the head forward. Exhale, pull the body in towards the legs. Any version of Uttanasana. You can take hold of the opposite elbows, pull the elbows down towards the heels, or press your hands flat against the ankles, or even bring your arms over the head. Chest with your thighs. And then from here, come all the way up. Bring your arms over the head. Reach back, hips forward. Allow the head to fall back. Be mindful, of course. Don't pinch the back of the neck. And return. Hands in front of the heart. From the heart, breathe up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love for all beings. Release. So we're going to try a balanced pose here. Okay, so we can play with this one. Just a tree pose. However, and if you want to do a half lotus tree, you can do this. So standing on your left foot first, bring the right knee up. And you can either take your regular tree with your foot on the inseam of the leg, or if you can, bring the knee close to the shoulder, pull the heel right in front of the left hip crease, and just push the foot into the hip crease, knee eventually pointing down. If you press the foot firmly into the hip, you can bring your hands perhaps in front of the chest. Then raise your arms up. Gaze up if you like, so you're saying, I'm yours to do service. Always state the intention of offering, of being of service. Now, bring your hands back to the heart, bend the knee, and then come forward. Now, some of you might be more easy to take your foot out to the hip crease first if it's not comfortable. Reach out. Eventually, you can take your hands down, do it this way, and fold the body in towards the leg. You can keep the knee bent a little bit so you can bring your chest more on your thighs. Now from here, option to hook your toes around the arm, outside the arm, close to the shoulder as possible, and press your leg underneath your arm, like you're holding a newspaper underneath your arm. So your knee is just against the back of the arm. Lean forward, and from here, keep hooking the foot, bring the left foot up, maybe bring your left foot out and back, flying crow. You can just stay here if you like. And to make it more challenging, you can bring arms out. And now we're going to exit the pose. So straighten out the legs by bringing the left hip up and come back up. And release. Take a moment here, stand in mountain pose, arms by the sides of the body. From the base of the spine, breathe up to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Feel strong and formidable, like a mountain. Now the other foot. So you're taking your left knee up. Take it in your position of choice with your foot on the inseam or your lotus. You can hold on to the foot if you're having trouble. Keep your gaze steady on the ground, about 3 feet in front or so. On the point that doesn't move, always helps with balance. And then bring your arms up. Stretch it up, feel like you're reaching to the sun. Always finding your way to the light. Take your gaze up. And then starting to come down. So again, you move your foot out a little bit so it comes out of the hip crease. Come down if you can into half squat. Bring your arms forward, so sit back a little bit so your seat comes back, your knee is over the heel a bit more. Or if you can, you bring your arms right against the leg, come into Uttanasana. Bring your hands beside your foot and then see if you can pull your chest down on the leg and your forehead to the shin. Move according to your condition. Alternatively into your flying crow. So cross your leg. Your arm is right against the leg, and your toes are hooking around the outside the shoulder. So press, bend the toes so they wrap around the arm a little bit better. Okay, and you have to bring your weight forward so that you can come forward and eventually take your standing foot up off the ground. So crouch down low, secure your leg in place, come forward with your head, and then you might be able to get your legs straight back. You can keep your knee bent like this if you need to find a balance, and then bring your head forward a little bit more, lengthen your spine, think about your leg as an extension of your back. Come back. Walk your hands towards the body. Stand strong on that right foot. Come back up. And release. Stand tall on the mountain again, arms by the sides. Breathe in from the base, like the base of the mountain to the summit, the crown. Exhale back down to the base. Feel rooted in your devotion to the practice. And then come down, lie on your back, for Shavasana just for a moment. So relax. Breathe in. Exhale, imagine you're fainting. Let go of all fatigue, allow all the tension to drop away. Now getting ready to sit up. Arms over the head and come to seated position. Bharadvajrasana. Lean to the right. If you can, fold the left leg back. If it's not comfortable, you keep your leg in front. And just bring the heel to the root of the body. And from here, we'll bring the right knee up. Take hold of the foot and then just wave it around, back and forth like you're opening a door. And then maybe circle it around. Good. And from here, see if you can bring your foot into your lotus. So if you lean back, your heel comes across the left thigh, close to where it has to go. Then you just slip it into the hip crease if it doesn't offer any resistance, and bring your knee down. If it doesn't come down all the way, you can place something underneath. Alternatively, if it's way away from the ground, if your foot is in front, you bring the toes to the knee. If your leg goes back, you place it to the inseam like this. Otherwise, with heel at the root. Otherwise, you bring your foot in your lotus. Go to the right. Bring the belly over the right thigh. Right arm goes over the back, behind, and take the foot or whatever you can manage. The strap, if you have one, to wrap the foot, or take hold of the shirt simply. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, push the lower back up and in, turn to the right. Make sure you're not uprooting the left side, keep it down. Come back to face forward. And from here, release. Take out the legs in front, shake them out. And go to the other side. Lean to the right, fold the left, fold the right leg back, or do the modifications as you see fit. Take your left foot up and then just go back and forth. Round in circles, whatever feels like it will loosen the hip. Then lean back, shoulder to the knee. Bring the foot across to the right. Land the heel close to the top of the thigh where it has, so you can slip it right into the hip crease more easily. Turn the body to the left, belly over the thigh. Left arm goes over the back and around. You might be able to use your other hand to just find the foot more easily. Move according to your condition. The more you practice, the more you eventually find tricks of your own to find your way into the poses. Push your lower back up and in, right side of the seat, firmly planted. Look over your left shoulder eventually, chin over the left shoulder. And then come back. Good. Now from here, release the legs again. Great, so for those who are stronger and want to try a different entry into headstand, I'll show you a different way if you have a lotus. So bring yourself into lotus first. You come onto your knees, place your hands down, and then the head down like you would in a tripod. Make sure your hands are not beside your head, you have to be in front. And then lift one side. Try to lift as much as you can so you can get your arm underneath the shin. And really push the arm and the shin together, push into hands. Take half breath in and then maybe the other side will come up. And then bring your knees up. Another way to enter is to, if you're not quite getting to your lotus, you bring your foot into your lotus first, place your hands, come up part way, so you can still see where your foot and your knee are. And then you push your knee back, and you see if you can wiggle your foot in. Otherwise, just come up your normal way into your headstand. If you need a modification, hair pose, forehead to the ground. Lift your seat, roll more on the back of the head if it's not too uncomfortable for the neck. Try to get your seat over your knees. Use a wall if you need to. Or split your legs, palm in between your hands, forearms pressing down, one leg up. Keep the feet close to the seat, and then press up and down. So by now, if you know what you're doing, you can just go right into the pose. So try not to jump too much if you're trying to make your way up. You don't have to jump too much. Try to get your foot closer to the elbow, and then use your knee to push into your belly so that your hips come right over your shoulders where they need to. And then you just pull your toes away from the ground or the wall. You can bring your feet on the wall. Imagine there's a wall in front of me, and then you just bring the other leg back, and you just pull your toes up off the wall to find your balance that way. Keep your attention fixed on the space in the eyebrows. If you like, you can try to take your head up off the ground. So sometimes it helps to split your legs first. Push into the arms hard. Take a breath in, and then see if you can lift your head up. You have to push to the base of the toes, push into the arms. You can tilt your head forward a little bit and look towards your fingers. And then get ready to come down. You can place your head down first. Come down gently. Try not to come down with a big heavy landing. Come into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. Roll your way up. Find your way onto your back. Shavasana. First, take a deep breath in. Exhale, remove all fatigue. Inhale again. Feel light and energy pouring into the body through the skin. Exhale, send it all throughout the body. Feel recharged and rejuvenated. Now make your way into shoulder stand. If you want to modify, bridge pose is a good approximation of the pose. Pull the heels towards the seat and then lift up your hips. Tuck your shoulders underneath. So shoulder blades come towards another, arms underneath the body. Push your chest as much as possible towards the chin so the chest looks like a wall. Tilt your hips forward. Some of you might be able to get into shoulder stand right from here. If you want to do that, you place your hands on your seat, your fingers facing towards the backs of the knees. Try to get your elbows again underneath your body as much as possible. And then raise one leg up over your head. Keep pressing into your seat. Keep pulling. Imagine someone's pulling on your foot that's raised. And eventually, you might be able to get your leg up to join it. Keep pushing to your back until eventually your hips are forward and your toes are in line with your chin. Close the eyes. Go within. All the attention at this seat of divine perception between the eyes, middle of the forehead.
If you have a lotus, go ahead into your lotus. If you want, you can take your hands to your thighs, whether your legs are straight or in lotus. Make sure you're right on the tops of your shoulders. Knees a little bit, or your feet over your head. And then slowly bring yourself into plow or pindasana if you have a lotus. Alternatively, drop your thighs against the chest, knees on either side of the head, Karna Pindasana. And from here, descend. Your descent should be slow and controlled. Take your arms behind the back. Keep your legs close to the body as you roll back down. No hard, heavy landings. If you have your lotus, keep your lotus. Just rest for a moment on your back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Demonstrate the lotus first. Fish. Push into the elbows. Lift your chest up. Walk your elbows in. Get the head to the ground, top of the head, and then lift your knees a little bit so you can take your toes, pull on the toes as much as you can so you can bring your elbows and your knees down. All right, otherwise you do your regular fish. Move your hands underneath your seat, arms underneath your body just like we did for bridge. And shoulder stand, lift the chest, bring the top of the head to the ground. Now, regardless where you're at, Bhastrika breath, breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. Release, relax, breathe in, breathe out. Good, arms over the head, and come to seat position. Paschimottanasana. Bend your knees if you need to. If you have tight leg muscles, reach up, hinge forward, chest on the thighs. You can hug simply your legs to your body so that you can keep your chest and your belly with your thighs. But imagine trying to get your chest beyond your knees and the top of the head towards the feet. You can get your legs flat down, go ahead. Push the seat back, keep on pulling your chest forward. Flatten out on your legs, use the weight of the body to bring more release to the backs of the legs. All the attention to the base of the spine. And come back up. Kurmasana. Bring your knees in a little bit. Soles of your feet facing towards front edge of mat. Modification, you slip your arms underneath, take hold of the edges of the feet, and bring your forehead down. If you have more flexibility, keep your feet just a little bit more hip width apart. And if your legs are over your shoulders, your elbows are underneath them, you try to move your knees close to the shoulders as possible. Move your hands further back, just alongside the hips. Your legs should be on your arms, the biggie part of the arms, not on the elbows. If your elbows are free, you may take your hands all over the back, join them together. Now, keep your attention at the base of the spine. Feel all the blood rush in your Breathe very still like a tortoise. Breathe slowly, just like a tortoise, to promote longevity of life. The longer the breath cycle, the longer the lifespan. Release. Bring yourself up from underneath. Cross your ankles. Come on to the back. And just rock your hips from back and forth. Like you're a snake shedding itself of its old skin. Let's do a cobra here. If you want to modify, you want to go into it slowly, take hold the front edge of the mat. Come into Sphinx. You might need to scooch forward a little bit. Pull on a mat. Pull the mat away from you. Lift the chest. Anchor down through the legs and the hips. Eventually you lift your elbows up off the mat. Curve your back a little bit more. Head back. Eventually you can let go of the mat. Come up higher. Bring the legs together like a tail of a snake. If you're feeling good, come onto your fingertips. Walk them as close as possible and really just get some height. Open up the legs. Bring the feet up perhaps. Point your toes. Feel so you're squeezing socks behind your knees. And maybe the toes will eventually find their way to the head. Hold it for a bit longer. Slowly come out. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Flip onto your back. Alright, last back bend. Urdhva Fingertips on either side of the head. Lift up the hips. Bring the heels in first, close to the seat. Lift the hips and push your fingertips. Pull the head back so you're on the top of the head. Turn your hands around. Fingers facing a little bit to the outside. Take half breath in. If you feel ready and able, lift your head up off the mat. Lift your toes, not your toes, your heels. And try to straighten your arms and your legs. Maybe walk your hands closer to your feet. And explore your variations if you like, or just stay strong in this pose. Push your chest forward. Rock back and forth if you like. Do whatever you like here. If you want to practice coming up and back down, drop back, go ahead. Open your feet a little bit more. Point your toes out. Bend your knees so you come flatter. Make sure you can see the ground first, so that you can come down with more control. And then lower down softly. Roll it out a little bit. Bring your knees up to your chest. And then just rock back and forth, not back side to side. Here, just really squeeze your thighs in towards your chest, flatten out the sacrum, separate your knees a little bit, press hands into the shins, and bring your knees together, move your hips to the left a little bit more, arms out, at the height of the shoulders, and bring your knees to the right. Really work at just rolling the thighs outwards and down so you feel lengthening through the spine. Curl the tail under. Keep the back of the shoulders flat on the ground if you can, by extending your arms as far out as possible at the height of the shoulders.
Move your knees back to the center. Bounce your knees over to the right. And take your knees over to the left. You can use your hand, your left hand, press into your thigh, roll the thigh outwards a little bit. Tail curls a little bit under, a little bit more. Flatten the shoulders. So from the fingers of one hand to the other across the chest, flat line. No big, try not to, the front of the shoulders should not be popping up, so just try to press them back down as fast as you can. Come back to the center and then just release your legs out. Feet falling away from one another, beyond the edges of the mat, the arms as well. Outside of the edges of the mat, the palms facing up. Close the eyes. And succumb to complete relaxation. So we're just going to do an exercise now of visualization, accompanied by deep breathing in order to promote more release. The more you release, the more you surrender, the more that you can take in all the benefits of the practice, the more you become receptive. So now follow my directions. From the left toes, breathe all the way up to the left side of the body, through the leg, up through the spine, right to the top of the head. Exhale slowly back down the same path. Feel everything release along the way. All the muscles, the spine softening, the leg muscles softening and becoming like jello practically, dissolving all the way back down to the toes. From the right toes, same thing. Inhale all the way up through the right side of the body, through the leg, through the spine to the crown. Exhale, release all the way back down to the toes of the right side. All the leg muscles just letting go of all the tension, feeling heavy. From the left fingertips, inhale up the left arm, right up through the shoulder to the neck, up to the crown. Exhale back down the same path. All the muscles along the way, let them go and become like jello, just weight hanging off the bones. From the right fingertips, inhale up the right arm, right up through the shoulder to the neck and to the crown. Exhale back down, all the way down through the right arm to the fingertips. All the muscles loosening. Arm becomes like dead weight. From the crown, inhale all the way down the spine, down the left leg to the toes. Exhale back up. Any residual tension that you find along the way, let it go. From the crown, down the spine, down the right leg to the right toes. Exhale back up. Any tension that happens to remain, release it. From the heart, inhale up to the crown. Exhale back down to the heart. Feel infused with love. Feel in strong connection with God, with divinity. From the fingertips and the toes, through the pores of the skin as well. Inhale, right up, through the spine, up to the crown. Exhale back down the spine and out through the pores of the skin, out through to the fingers and toes. Release everything. From the base of the spine, inhale up to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Leave the body alone. Just observe. Take a moment to scan the body.
Notice any changes in the mental, physical, emotional state. And then just imagine you're just the observer watching the body in its still state, in its corpse-like state. Leave it alone in its stillness. Imagine you're outside of the body and can even peer into the mind. And perhaps the mind is more quiet now that it doesn't have to occupy itself with the body. Perhaps all the incessant chatter in the mind is quieting down. Whatever emotions arise, be unconcerned. Just observe them. Lose all body consciousness and awareness. You are not the body, nor the mind, nor the emotions, after all. Feel as though you were outside now, in outer space, looking down at the earth, all its that beautiful sphere of blues of the ocean, the greens of the forest, the browns of the earth. And then you just keep moving back further and further away from the earth. And as you move back, you see all the stars. You maybe even see the sun and the other planets moving way, way, way beyond the universe. So you can see right into it. Multitudes of stars and planets, as numerous as there are sands, grains of sand on the beach, as numerous as there are beings on the earth. Each and every form so beautiful, so special. Love them all. Love all the forms. Revere all the forms. Know them as your own self. Know them as just another representation or manifestation of divinity. In the end, we're all the same. We're all one without the other. We're all one with God. Repeat yourself the following sentence 3 times as an auto-suggestion that you can use as your daily mantra to go back to every day, to reinforce it, to strengthen your resolve. I am cultivating an appreciation and love for all beings and forms and experiences. Keep that in your heart and mind at all times. Keep coming back to it. make ready to prepare to carry that, to exercise that in your own daily life off the mat as well. So now imagine you're coming back into the body, reconnecting with it, and feel it starting to awaken. And with the utmost gentleness and mindfulness and quietness, prepare to sit up. Once again, fully back in your form, ready to carry out your mission of spreading love to all. Sitting tall and supremely still now. Let's do 3 rounds of spiritual breathing. So we're imagining we're pulling in the best of the best from the universe, from the fingertips down into the heart. So we're going to raise the arms up, the palms up. So imagine all the best coming in through the arms into spiritual heart, which is located at the right side of physical heart. We hold the attention there. For your attention is like a magnet, it draws all the goodness there. Hold the breath at the same time. Exhale, just the breath leaves back out to the arms. Everything that you pulled in stays in. So bring the arms up. Inhale from the fingertips down into the heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding all that you pulled in. Hold it in heart. Suspend the breath. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, just the breath out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale down into the heart, drawing the best of the best universe, everything that you need. Holding it in the heart. Keep the attention there as you hold the breath. Exhale out through the fingertips. 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. Feel so you're a magnet, attracting everything that you need. Holding it all in the heart now. Suspend the breath. Exhale out through the arms. Bring the hands back down. Resting on your knees in Jnana Mudra. Keep very still and straight through the spine. Now, meditate a few moments on love. Love beyond physical love, divine love, which means love of God and as a result of all beings. For the divine spark is found in all beings. And that divine spark has no shape or form, but prevails everywhere. It's not stopped by boundaries, the boundaries of our physical bodies. So imagine you are everywhere. In fact, that is the nature of love and God, infinite, present everywhere, in all space and time, in all beings. Establish yourself in love, and you establish yourself in the hearts of all. And remain there. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace within. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming. Have a wonderful day and weekend.